What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, and we got a game to talk about today. The Bulls, unfortunately, dropped their second in a row, both games, to the Philadelphia 76ers. And this game and the last few games really have given us a lot to talk about and evaluate, honestly, when it comes to this Bulls team, and we're going to get into it right after this. All right, so this is probably not going to be a long video, at least I don't think so. I think the last time I said that, the video ended up being one of my longer videos, so nonetheless, the Bulls, as we know, they lost to the 76ers again. Our first time losing back-to-back games. Bulls now sit at 6-3. And so I don't want to take away from the amazing game that Joel Embiid had, right? He had a great game. The Philadelphia 76ers answered everything that the Bulls threw at them. Yet again, the Bulls actually took the lead briefly in the fourth quarter, and it looked like in a couple of times in this game that the Bulls were going to march back. And you know, when they took that lead, it felt like, okay, maybe, especially being at home. But here's the thing, and this is the thing that we have to be honest with as Bulls fans, right? And then, so a lot of the things that the same Bulls fans that talked about, the fact that, the Bulls don't need any time. They don't, like, they're veterans. That all you got to do is play with heart, and you're gonna listen. Those same people now who are using the reason that, well, you know, we're a new team, it's gonna take time. You can't do both sides. Now, the ones that have always said the Bulls are gonna take some time to have to work it out, to work out the chemistry, all that. Yes, those things are all true. But some of us got wrapped up in how great they played in the preseason and thought that it was going to be easy selling. And even how the season started off with 4-0, it's not going to be easy for a team that came together, and that, you know, only two players on this team started off last season on this team. It's not going to be easy. It's not. Well, three, because Kobe White as well. It's not going to be easy. It's not. And so the Bulls are starting to show some of the concerns that we knew there were going to be problems going into the season, and some that we didn't think were going to be concerns. One of them, Vooch. Vooch is playing like shit. Let's just be, all the excuses aside, it's a slow start, all of this. Vooch is not playing good basketball right now. He's just not. He hasn't been at the start of the season. Now, some of the Bulls fan base are now saying, well, maybe the Bulls should trade. You can't. Well, the Bulls could trade him, but at this point in time, like, you don't pull the trigger. Stop with all the knee-jerk reaction as Bulls fans. Like, everything is so knee-jerk. One thing happens. Oh, well, you think we're going to do this? Let's trade Patrick Williams. Kobe needs it. All of this. This is the team. I'm not saying that AK and Eversley are not going to try to improve the team, but everything can't be solved by just trading things away, especially when the pieces are at an all-time low value. You don't just trade. Like, we as Bulls fans, like I said before in the last video, the constant conversation of what the Bulls are going to do for bigs are starting to really be just like what the Bulls are going to do at the two guard in the Derrick Rose era. You remember all that Rudy Fernandez stuff, and then I think KD McDaniels, I think was his name. People, Bulls fans were, even Wesley Matthews, Bulls fans just obsessed over what two guard would be perfect to fit into this, without really taking into consideration how that messes up the chemistry of the team or what you're sending out. And just we often, and when I say we as a fan base, I mean, like, parts of us, right? Because not everyone agrees with this, but like Bulls fans, like we and this is every team-based fandom to a degree as well, think that we can just trade these pieces that aren't really doing much and get this thing that's just going to be perfect to make us a championship contender. It's not going to happen. It doesn't work that way. So with that being said, like, Vooch is having a terrible start to the season. That's not to say that he can't pull it around, whatever else. Zach LaVine also, let's just be honest, if you're looking out there in the game, it's not just about the thumb injury. You know, I know people are going to go right to the thumb. It's not even just about the thumb injury. Zach LaVine is forcing it. He is starting to devolve back into what he had to do last season, where it's like just forcing, everything's on him, force up whatever shot is necessary. He's not taking good shots, right? If he was taking good shots, missing it because of the thumb, that's a different thing. He is not taking good shots at certain points in this game. And the frustration that he's having with not getting calls and stuff, yes, those are valid frustrations. But at the same time, I think he's letting it get out of that calmness. Like, at the beginning of the season, even when Zach had the slow start to the first quarters, it felt more like okay, I'm gonna let my team do this, and if I need to take over this game, I know very well that I can, and I'm gonna start scoring. And he played very intelligent basketball. that's going away, not just for Zach as well. I'm not trying to pinpoint anything on one player. This team as a whole, all that chemistry and everything, it's not completely going away because we still show flashes of it, but I don't really know how to put it into words. Something is off about this team. We show a lot of heart because we always come back. Like, granted, this Bulls team comes back from every huge deficit that they have, so it's hard to say that they don't have heart in those cases because they absolutely do. We have a big heart on this team, but something's just not working. As well as Billy Donovan's rotations. When you look at the way that the game changes, when players with big energy like DJ, Tony Bradley come into this game and contribute, the outlook of the game for that period in time changes. The crowd gets into it. The players get into it. So in a game like this where Joel Embiid is killing our asses, why Tony Bradley, why DJ didn't play more, especially like when they had a stretch in which they were playing great? Why is Alize Johnson not getting minutes at a time like this? In the time where the Bulls need rebounding and energy, right? I know he doesn't project to offer a lot with shot blocking, but why is Alize Johnson not getting off the bench during times like this? Again, this is not the sky is falling. This is not a time to just worry and be frantic or make knee-jerk reactions, but some things have to change with this team. Or these are like in this tough stretch that we're going through, these back-to-back losses are going to become more frequent. And as Bulls fans, like even in the last video, somebody I don't know if it was a title and they didn't actually watch the video though, but like they want to call into question your fan. Listen here, I'm 34 years old. I would have been a Bulls fan. Some of my earliest pictures of life, 2 and 3 years old, is sitting on my dad's lap watching a Bulls game. So don't come to me about this not a Bulls fan bullshit just because I'm not excusing all the shit that's going on with this team. And I'm not, again, it's more good than bad. It is more good than bad overall so far this season. I admit that. But if the Bulls don't do something to fix these issues that we're having, it may not stay that way. And we have to be honest with that. Yes, the front court. We knew we were always thin in the front court, and we always said coming into the season, especially me on this channel, that a major injury to the front court is going to completely throw our rotation for a loop. I'm more so focused on if it was Vooch than Patrick Williams because I didn't think it was going to be Patrick Williams, honestly. But we're seeing that now. And all these trade scenarios of, oh, Christian Woods fixed this, Bol fixes this. The Bulls need Reed was now become another one. Listen, none of those players make the Bulls a fucking championship contender. I'm not saying they don't help with the front court, and that's the thing. We have become so focused on this search for the perfect four that we forget that we have a huge issue with scoring from our goddamn bench. A huge issue. There's never been a team to make it far in the playoffs with bench scoring as bad as the Bulls' bench scoring has been. Find it. You won't. You won't. The Bulls' bench scoring is going to be their Achilles heel. Now, I say that, but in this game, the bench scoring wasn't that bad. I'm saying overall in this season, we actually scored pretty well off the bench. DJ had 12. Tony Bradley had 4. Alex Caruso had 9. And Io had 2. So that is way more than what we got. I mean, hell, Derrick Jones Jr. almost alone scored more than our bench did in the last game against the Sixers. So just keep that in mind. But overall, something needs to change. And I know Kobe White. Keep in mind with this with Kobe White. And I am the one who sits here and says that I do think Kobe White needs to stay on this team, and what he provides, he can probably get about 15 at the minimum points off the bench with the way that I think he's going to be able to play with this bench. But we gotta keep it realistic. Kobe's just now being able to start shooting again, right? And even if he does come back in 2 to 3 weeks or whatever else, he's probably not going to be at his full power as far as like being comfortable and everything out there for another month after that. So Kobe White coming back is not going to magically, and it's amazing how the same people who were calling for Kobe White to be traded, now when bench scoring is brought up, they're like, oh, well, Kobe's not here. Like, pick a fucking narrative and stick to it. But with that being said, Kobe is not going to fix this, and if he does fix it long term, it's not going to be right away. Kobe White coming back is not going to automatically fix what's going on with this bench scoring. Alize needs to play more minutes, period. Alize Johnson needs to be playing more minutes. I don't know what's going on there, but questions need to be arisen there. This team needs to get back to playing more free with the basketball. This constant isolation basketball, and I don't know if it's this thing where because they get to these big deficits early that it's like, okay, let me do what I can do best. I don't know what it is. but it needs to be figured out. And this isn't, again, I know this, I'm frustrated, right? I'm frustrated in watching the way that the Bulls played the last 2 games. I'm frustrated with it. But I still do believe that this team can turn it around. This is not at all me saying that I'm over it or I think the Bulls, they're going to turn it around. I choose to believe that until it's proven otherwise. They have too much talent for it not to turn around. But something has to happen. The Bulls play again Monday. I don't know what's going to happen between now and then, but something needs to happen. We need to see a different team come out here Monday because I'm telling you right now, if the Bulls get out to 3 losses in a row, not just again, I definitely think that they can overcome it in the long run. But what that does for the psyche, what that does for the frustration, hell, maybe it may end up they get so frustrated that they fix some shit around here. I don't know, but it's just being honest with the critiques of this Bulls team. The heart is not the same. Like they showed in spurts, absolutely, but it's not the same as what it was in the preseason and to start the season. And I get it; they got a lot of kicks in the stomach, back to back between Patrick Williams, Zach LaVine's thumb losses. They got a lot of kicks and punches to the stomach, but they need to pull it together. That's the difference between a team that is just a good regular season team and a great team. And the Bulls need to figure that out if they're gonna be able to be more than just a scrappy team this season. Those are my thoughts. Sorry the video's late. I really I was so frustrated yesterday. I could not record a video. Otherwise, it would have been me doing I don't even know. It would have just been me screaming at the camera. So let me know down below. What do you think about the Bulls' last 2 games? What are some of the things you want to see them improve on and fix? What are some of your biggest concerns with the way that the Bulls have been playing lately and how that projects going into the rest of the season? Let me know down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff to Chicago Bulls Central, because I'm going to be dropping content hot and fast. So make sure you're liked, subscribed, all that good stuff. Turn on notifications if you're a big Bulls fan, because the videos are going to be dropping. But like I like to end every video on, go Bulls. I love you guys. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.